Here's my...
Certainly are on the record.
Good evening. The Air Pollution Control District's Variance Hearing Board will come to order at 5:33. Will those who intend to testify tonight please rise to be sworn in?
You and each of you do solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give in the matters now pending before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Clerk, will you take the roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Gasparino?
Here.
Mr. Herlock?
Here.
Mr. Stubblefield?
Present.
Okay. Ms. Newswinder?
She's not here. Thank you. The first petition we're going to hear tonight is petition number 810, the petition of Naval Base Ventura County for a regular variance from Air Pollution Control District Rule 29.C, conditions on permits, violation of authority to construct number 01006-360, and Rule 70, storage and transfer of gasoline, Section B, requirements, and Section H, testing requirements and test methods. Sir, would you please...
Mr. Stubblefield, we don't have anyone from Naval Base Ventura County here tonight.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Allen's here for the second hearing.
Gotcha.
Had him sit up there for expediency. Keith Duvall with the Ventura County Air Pollution Control District. On December 8th, your board granted an interim variance to Naval Base Ventura County for an exemption or variance from the testing requirements on their permit to operate. They operate a gasoline dispensing facility, and they were required to do some testing by their permit to operate. The district is in the process of revising our Rule 70 for gasoline storage and dispensing that deals with testing requirements for gasoline facilities. And that rule revision will exempt Naval Base Ventura County's facility from the requirements to test and to actually have operational their gasoline vapor recovery system. So they have requested that they withdraw their petition for regular variance. I believe it's petition number 810. You've been given a letter from the Navy, a copy of their letter requesting withdrawal. They're not here tonight, but our counsel said I could represent to you that we did receive this letter. And you also have a draft order of withdrawal for their variance petition that will ask the chair to sign should you decide to accept their withdrawal.
Thank you, Mr. Duvall. Do the members of the board have any questions of the district? Mr. Herlock.
Has the rule revision passed through the advisory committee and it's going to be presented on March 10th?
Yes, it's been approved by the advisory committee. There's we did receive a few comments that we dealt with and satisfied all of those comments, so we don't feel that there's any controversy with the rule amendment, and the Navy is shutting down their facility as of today, so they won't be in violation after today.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't think of that in December.
It was actually, I think, discussed. We kind of talked about the timing of this and this week, but I think at the time they felt that they wanted that cushion to continue operating for this next week up until the hearing date.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Gasparino, do you have any questions of the board?
No, I do not, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Duvall. Okay, the board is, do either one of the members present besides myself have any objections to granting this withdrawal?
No.
Then the board is going to grant this withdrawal of Naval Base Ventura County. Okay, the next,
Do we need to vote on that, even though it's a withdrawal?
Under the rules, Rule 118, the petitioner may dismiss his petition at any time before submission of the case to the hearing board, which would be at the conclusion of a hearing. So they have the right to dismiss at this point.
Thank you.
pass this down to Keith. Here's the original. Okay, our second petition for tonight is petition number 8112. The petition of Meggitt, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Meggitt Safety Systems, Inc., Meggitt, for an interim variance from District Rule 74.13, Aerospace Assembly and Component Manufacturing Operations, Section B, Surface Cleaning Requirements. Sir, would you care to state your petition? And
Yes.
also, what is your name, please?
Yes, my name is John Allen. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Allen Matkins, and I'm appearing this evening on behalf of Meggitt Safety Systems, Inc., with respect to that variance petition. We did reach a agreement in principle, I think I'm fair to characterize, with Mr. Duvall and his staff late last week, in which we've now hope to prepare a settlement agreement and a stipulated order of abatement. And as such, we would like to withdraw our petition for the interim variance and take the other variance off calendar as well, subject to developing and finalizing a stipulated order of abatement, which we would then present to you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Do the members of the board have any questions of Mr. Allen? Can we ask questions anyway, even though the petitioner...
I believe so.
Sure.
Mr. Hurlott?
No, I don't have any questions of
Okay. Mr. Gasparino?
I have a question for staff, but maybe Steve will ask it. Thank you.
Okay, do the members of the board have any questions from staff?
No, thank you. You were first.
So between, my question is either for the staff or for council, whether this period between now and this subsequent hearing, they're going to be operating in violation and can do so without a variance from the board.
I'll take a try at that. Meggitt Safety Systems has been in violation for some period of time. They've been using a non-compliant solvent for cleaning some of their parts. So in this interim period, they will be in violation. And Mr. Allen and I, when we met 2 weeks ago and had some subsequent phone conversations, we didn't feel that your board could grant an interim variance based on a good cause. And so that's what's led to this withdrawal and our proposal for a stipulated abatement order.
Yeah, just by way of supplement, that I agree with what Mr. Duvall has said. The concept here would be that we would enter in effect, a notice of violation has already been issued. The resolution of that notice of violation would involve an agreement in which, in addition to achieving compliance with the applicable rule within a specified time period, we would pay a penalty for performing in violation under the 74.13 in the interim. So we would reach an agreement, perhaps as soon as this week, an agreement, but the order itself would have to be calendared and subject to notice and so forth.
Mr. Gasparino?
Steve had asked the question. Phrased it better than I would have. Thank you.
I don't have any questions of the petitioner or staff, so if there... Do you have another question? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little unusual. I haven't seen one like this, and I wonder if we can get the board's counsel to comment on the situation. I mean, it probably isn't, but it could be sort of interpreted as staff preempting the board from doing something like denying
Well,
the variance request?
under that same Rule 118, the petitioner has the right to dismiss it or withdraw it. The issue being here that if they don't think they can meet the conditions and the requisites for the variance, there's no point in going forward with it. They're subject to all the penalties and the violation issues that go with it, notwithstanding. And if your board couldn't make the findings in any case, there's no point in them going forward with the request for the variance. I mean, they're essentially saying we can't make our case for a variance, so you couldn't grant it in any event.
Thank you.
Does either member of the board have any further questions of staff or the petitioner? Okay, Mr. Allen, the board's going to grant this withdrawal,
Thank you.
and we'll see you later.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does staff have any other business tonight? I think there was some, I think Chris mentioned, oh, is there any public comment? No. Hearing none. Excuse me. Do either member of the board wish to say anything?
I see that on the agenda, there's an election.
Yes.
Is that the next order of business?
Well, right after board comments, if there are any.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so we need to elect a new chair. I've had the privilege and honor of serving as the acting chair because Mr. Gasparino unfortunately had personal matters that caused him to have to resign, right? So he's back, and I think Mr. Gasparino was the chair at the time that he resigned, correct? You weren't? Oh.
I don't believe there was an election that made me the chair at the time that I had to withdraw because of personal reasons.
But isn't that why I'm the acting chair? Because
I do recall this a meeting at which Mr. Gasparino was uncomfortable because he was so new, and I think that may have something to do with how we got to here.
and then we elected him anyway?
No, I think then, I don't remember exactly how that happened, but I do remember that discussion, that it was,
I think Kate said that she would continue, actually. But she's not here, so that's my recollection.
I believe that's my understanding, is she was the chair prior to you.
I think that might have been the case.
I'm confused. So why was I made the acting chair? I don't remember now. But who was I replacing? Kate stepped down? I know she's recused herself occasionally, but I don't remember.
I think that you might have taken Mr. Gasparino's
That was my recollection.
chairmanship.
Yeah. I know it's been quite a while.
That's why we pinned the acting chair on you.
And it was because I was Mr. Gasparino's vice chair,
I believe so,
right?
yes.
So I guess we have two choices. We have two options. We can now reinstate Mr. Gasparino to his rightful place as chair and have him serve out the next term, or he can miss his turn and we can move on to Mr. Herlock and Ms. Nicewinder. Mr. Oriana, do you have any
The
input?
only provision in the Health and Safety Code is that the hearing board shall select a chairman from its members. There's no other restriction on what.
I know we've always tried to rotate it as long as I've been a member of the board, so we just kind of, every year,
I think that
we elect a chair and a vice chair, and the next year the vice chair moves up to chair.
It wasn't Dr. Shackman at the time he left, or anything that caused you to become acting chair?
I don't believe that Dr. Shackman was the chair at the time that he retired from the board. Mr. Gasper?
Yes, if it would make Steve happy, I would be glad to accept a nomination for me to be chair for the next term.
I'll make that nomination.
I'll second that. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Gasparino?
Come on, vote for yourself.
Aye.
Mr. Hurlock?
Aye.
Mr. Summerfield?
Aye. Congratulations, Mr. Gasparino. We also need to elect a vice chair. Are you up for?
I don't know.
And Ms. Nicewinder not being here, I don't know if I want to nominate and possibly elect her in absentia. So I would nominate Mr. Hurlock as vice chair for the next year.
I will second that.
Any discussion from members of the board? Clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Gasparino?
Aye.
Mr.
Aye.
Hurlock?
Aye.
Mr. Summerfield?
Aye. Congratulations, Mr. Hurlock. Mr. Duvall, you look like you have a comment.
Before you
Adjourn.
adjourn for the night, we have just one scheduling item that we wanted to talk tonight. We have a pending interim variance, that we would like to try and schedule for March 16th, 2 weeks from tonight, and we were wondering
I have no problem with the
what your
16th.
schedule is.
I had indicated that both those candidate dates, next Monday and the following Monday, were clear for me.
And I will be recovering from surgery, but I'll be available.
Okay. I don't know what Ms. Nicewinder's available. She's okay? Okay, so it looks like we would have,
So we still be in the hospital?
No, it's in and out, so.
Oh, it's outpatient, so you'll probably be okay. All right, okay.
okay, so we'll go ahead and schedule that for March 16th then. We'll get
Okay.
the draft order out and the staff report out for you.
Thank you, Mr. Duvall.
Thank you.
Not having opened my present yet, I just want to say, I'm sure I speak for the other board members, thank you very much for your thoughtful present. It's a should we open them now and look at them?
Two- 2008 was the district's 40th anniversary, and we ordered a number of mugs for staff and board members, and we just kept forgetting to bring some. Hot liquids. I've thrown mine in the microwave, so.
put yours in the microwave?
Yeah, hasn't shattered.
We're good to go.
So now when I come by to see you or Chris, you guys will serve something other than in a styrofoam cup? Or a paper cup, let me
We
be
could.
politically correct.
Tonight's meeting is adjourned. At 5:50 p.m.